That was
maybe you thanks, Judy. Maybe you feel it as well, is that we're at a place really where it's time to come back into connection with the natural world. And that's really for just the well-being and survival of our species, but of each of us individually. So, um, just wanted to invite you, since we are here together for this time, to just take a moment, take a deep breath, maybe put your hand over your heart, close your eyes just for a moment, just to arrive here in the energy of our group, in the energy of these master plant medicines, just coming into this space of reverence and quiet for just a moment. Now we'll walk you through from this space our agenda for today. So we will take a moment just to welcome. I'll ask you maybe a couple of questions as well about you, if you're able to share. We'll chat about what are really master plant medicines, what is the Plant Medicine Dieta, why we offer it with a combination of two master plant medicines, mushrooms and cacao. Talk about just the process of dieta, as well as what kind of benefits people see, and some thoughts on how to get started. Um, and we also will share with you the dieta that we offer. So if that is something you guys feel called to join as well. So I know you are both with your camera off, but I just would really love to know if you feel like you are able to type. If you're in a place that is safe to type into the chat, we would love to know. Do you have any previous experience with plant medicines at all? We're super curious about that. So we kind of know how to tailor the information. And also, if there is anything specific that brought you here. Sometimes there's a calling, sometimes there's something going on in our lives. Um, awesome, Kels. That is taking a class with a local herbalist. That's amazing.
you.
So powerful. And so we'll talk a little bit about probably some of the plants that they are working with and how those might differ a little bit as well from the ones that we are working. Lots of similarities and some differences as well. So we will definitely get into that. Nadia, welcome. We are just getting started. Everybody was just sharing a bit about um, where they're from, their experience with plant medicine, if any, and yeah, anything that's called them here. We're just sharing it in the chat. So if you feel called, Nadia, would love to have you share as well. Amazing, Chloe. That's amazing. Wow. I am so curious. Maybe at the end, you can share a little bit more about your 3-month journey with Iboga. I would love to hear about that. That's fascinating. So, and you used to make DMT. That's amazing. Chloe, this is incredible. So, definitely would love to hear at the end, Chloe, if you can stay on. I'm so grateful to hear everybody's experiences, what has worked for them, what hasn't. So so
Mm.
grateful to have you here. And Nadia, I know you're just joining, but we are just sharing the agenda of what we're going to cover today and sharing a bit about who's here. And so right now we have everybody muted, but we will definitely unmute by the end. Any questions you have, please put them here in the chat and we will make sure to unmute you after we have stopped recording so that people can share and talk in a way that is not being recorded. So in the recording will just be shared with those who've registered but aren't able to make it. So we're really excited about that. All right, so that is our agenda for today. So excited to meet you all. Judy, I will turn it over to you.
Mm. Thank you, my darling Katie. Beautiful. Such an honor to be here. And anytime we are in space of these master plant medicines, it really truly is an honor. And so today, let's kind of start bigger picture. What are master plant medicines? Why are these called master plant medicines? Master teacher plant medicines. What exactly are they, and how can they support us? And so all plants are medicinal or teacher plants. And so, we think of, let's say, the herbalist, or even, think of, I love to use the example of chamomile, for example. Chamomile is such a beautiful plant that is wonderful for instant calming for us. So all plants that we have here on this beloved earth with us are either medicinal or they're called teacher plants. And some of these are master teacher plants. In fact, we even call them master plant medicines. And who gave them these titles? Thousands of years ago, our beloved indigenous families and many of our ancestors working with these plant medicines are the ones who were called by these spirits, these cosmic spirits, because they really are cosmic spirits. We are, of course, frequency and energy before we are matter. And these cosmic spirits have decided to manifest themselves onto some of our plants here so that when we consume these plants, we can go on this beautiful journey with them, this beautiful journey of them teaching. This is why they're called master teacher plants. When we come to them with reverence and honor and gratitude as the ongoing student, always learning and excited to learn more, these beautiful teachers open up and help us to remember our journey and why we're here. And so these are ageless, beautiful cosmic spirits and revered by many of our indigenous cultures for thousands and thousands of years, even more so than what we've even known. For example, we know that we've just discovered another temple. The most ancient temple has been discovered out in Peru, 3,000 years older than Machu Picchu, older than the Egyptian pyramids, just discovered. And in those ceremonial pots, they found traces of cacao. So, there was up until this discovery where they believed, cacao was originated, the original stewards, and now they're believing that this is now the original stewards. And I bet you there's even more, right? There's even more to be discovered. And that's what's so exciting is that we are awakening. Literally, the earth is awakening and bringing these treasures for us, and same within our hearts. And so these master plant medicines offer profound healing for us and consciousness altering abilities, whether they are psychedelic or are non psychedelic master plant medicines. We're going to talk about those in a minute. Some examples are ayahuasca. You may be familiar with our beloved abuelita ayahuasca, grandmother ayahuasca, beautiful, beautiful plant medicine, psilocybin mushrooms and cacao, which we're going to focus on today. And the magnificent lies in their ability to help us reconnect with the ancient wisdom that is already within us, just remembering and uncovering that within us and remembering our true nature as, the creators that we are. And so, if it's okay right now, I'd love, love, love to share just a tiny bit of who I am, where I came from, why I'm here, and same with Katie. Um, my journey with master plant medicines, my beautiful journey that I'm so in honor and reverence and so much gratitude for, still to this day, um, started about over 5 years ago for me. My brother-in-law came back from a beautiful retreat in Peru, an ayahuasca journey for 14 days with the beloved Shipibo Canibo tribe, and came back completely different. And in that journey, I started to understand that cacao is a master plant medicine. Immediately within me, a fire was igniting that was getting stronger and stronger and stronger, a remembering, I believe, of a past life or some sort of deep connection with this plant medicine, cacao. And when the student is ready, the teacher appears, a beloved shaman locally here. I met almost immediately after our beloved cacao started to call to me, and I started to work with her. And I am in so much awe and reverence as I look back on this journey because this beautiful shaman spent 7 years in northern Peru in Tarapoto, living in the jungles with our beloved Shipibo Kanibo tribe and learning and taking part in the beloved Dieta journeys. The reverence, the understanding how deeply transformational these sacred journeys are. And so I went through many dieta journeys with her, cacao journeys, and many on my own afterwards, and some with beautiful Katie here as well. And that's why we are here talking about these mixing these two medicines, which we're going to talk about in a minute. So part of my journey, just to wrap up really quickly, is um, I am in I'm dedicated, committed, and so excited to support anyone and everyone who wishes to remember deeply who they are, their purpose, and how they can contribute to take these beautiful dieta journeys. And also anyone who wishes to facilitate cacao specifically to remember that the dieta is the original foundational step in channeling and connecting deeply with this medicine to then embody her. And so thank you very much for being here.
Oh,
Mm.
thank you, Judy. That's so beautiful. So grateful to partner with you on this and to really learn from your deep, deep devotion to Mama Cacao.
Mm.
Just quickly about me, I am a plant medicine guide, and I came similarly, well, maybe not similarly, but was in a place in my life back about 10 years ago where I felt, a little bit stuck and was kind of ready for the next step. And of course, in the same way, when the student is ready, the teacher appears, and a friend invited me to a ceremony with the shaman she had been working with. And so I went, and of course, in one ceremonial experience, had just my mind completely blown about the transformational quality and healing that can happen with these powerful plants. And I went very deep into my own work with mushrooms, with ayahuasca, a little bit with cacao, but with some other plants like kanna and sassafras with this shaman. And I really knew in that one first experience that I would want to train, but first really spent my time for a few years just going very deep with my own work with these plants. And so then I started training shortly after with this shaman. He has an interesting background. His mother is Mexican, his father is Peruvian, and so he is the lineage carrier of both of their lineages, and it's really a beautiful combination. And I feel honored to have had that time with him, training and apprenticing primarily with mushrooms, ayahuasca, this kanna, and also the sassafras plants. The cacao was really my own personal love that I came into, and less of his work. So I have been guiding individual couples, groups in healing ceremonies since about the end of 2016, and more full time since 2019. And then also obviously working a lot now with Judy. Judy and I have known each other for probably about 4 years now, but have been working together, hosting and collaborating, combining particularly the cacao plant medicines and the mushroom plant medicines for a little over a year now. And so that is something, um, yeah, that we'll talk a little bit too about the magic of the combination of those two plants. But I'm really passionate about coaching and helping people with microdosing journeys and bringing more of a focus of working with the mushroom medicine in a dieta way, which is less common for the mushrooms than it is for some other master plant medicines like ayahuasca or cacao or even iboga, as Chloe mentioned. So yes, and of course helping people. I also work with people just supporting their integration process through these peak experiences. So a little bit about me, and why I am here, and just feeling the call more recently in the last year or so. It's been getting stronger and stronger in my communication with the mushrooms around how much they want to work with me and through me in a different way, and bringing not just the ceremonies and the microdosing, but this deep devotional practice with mushrooms to more people. So that is me. And just as a real quick slide, a reminder of kind of the way that we break this down. So this will give you an idea of kind of where the dieta sits. So there are three main ways that we would say you could work with the consciousness of these master teacher plant medicines. The first being ceremonial. So this is a sacred space for deep healing and spiritual connection. These are typically quite high doses or much higher doses. And so there's a lot that happens in that one experience or set of experiences. And then microdosing being another, which is a lot of people have heard of these days, which is really taking a very small amount, a subperceptible dose of plant medicines. And so that can help a little bit as an acute support for things like mood and clarity, but over time can also help, just like ceremonial doses, to help rewire your neural pathways. So lots of both long-term and acute effects that can be helpful with the microdosing. And dieta, of course, is what we're here for, is kind of that third path, which is really that ancient practice of consuming a specific plant, or in this case, specific plants, while following dietary and spiritual guidelines. So that allows for purification and a deeper connection with the plant's essence and spirit. So it can really help you at a deeper level to receive those transformative insights. So Judy and I work together in all of these aspects. We also work separately in some of these aspects, but together we combine the mushroom and the cacao medicines in ceremony, and we do these, our retreats that we offer together, we offer in the Toronto area. And of course, we also travel with them as well. But those we offer together mostly in daytime retreats. So that's kind of a unique way of doing it. So it's more accessible to kind of the average person. We also offer a microdosing class. So that's kind of, we combine the microdosing of both the mushrooms and the cacao medicine in that program. So that's another way that we work together, combining these medicines. And then, of course, the one we're here to talk about is really more the dieta journey. And this is something that we will be offering just for the first time as a combined dieta with the cacao and mushrooms. We're really excited about that.
Mm.
Oops, yeah, I just went past here. There we go. So Judy, I'll let you speak a little bit more into really what is the plant medicine dieta.
Yeah. Oh, this is so beautiful. I remember when I first learned about this, I just felt this deep honor that I could, I and anyone can take part in what's been revered for thousands of years by our beloved indigenous families, and more specifically, our shamans, our medicine men and women who have been facilitating many of these medicines to others. So, the plant medicine dieta is a journey where these medicines have gifted to us this journey which has a beginning and an end, so a timeline, and all these different structures that are in between, including a purification of our body. And this happens and has happened with our beloved shamans and medicine people for thousands of years. And what they have done, we can do as well, is it's not just something you do once. You feel called by the medicine, and again and again and again, you'll know when it's time because the medicine will call you to go deeper again. It's a deep, deep, deep immersion with the plant spirit, and it really is a physical and a spiritual cleanse. There are many things that happen because there's a time and a space where we are committing in relationship with the spirit plant, where the plant spirits are going to help us to unravel. So we know that so much of our beliefs, in fact, it is our beliefs that create our reality. We know that, right? Our beliefs create our reality. Whatever our beliefs are, we project those beliefs through our eyes, and whatever's happening in our reality is a projection of what's happening within us, our beliefs. So if we can shift our beliefs, we can change the reality. And so these plant medicines want to help us to shift these beliefs, because so many of our beliefs come from our childhood or come from groups or societies or conditioning of a group of collective people who tend to have been collectively in, you know, fear energies. And so they're helping us, especially right now in this beautiful, magnificent shift that's happening in the world, this rise in awareness, this rise in consciousness, to help us to unravel these beliefs, to first become aware of them, because sometimes we don't even know. You know, it's when we stop and say, "Wow, why did I just make that statement about myself? Where did that is a belief right there, and therefore I keep attracting these, you know, these situations which keep me in this loop." And so connecting to our inner wisdom, right? Because we know that we have the inner wisdom already within us. It's just uncovering it. It's kind of like that story we talked about with the temple that was discovered out in Peru, the most ancient temple ever discovered, discovered from within the earth. Same with us. We are reflections of the earth. The earth is a reflection of us. We are uncovering these treasures, these rememberings from within us. And these plant medicines want to help us to do that. Emotional healing and transformation. This one is so beautiful and so powerful because, you know, whether it's our own traumas, things that have happened perhaps to us in this lifetime, or we know that there are also traumas, or at least energetics of certain traumas that have come from our lineage, our family line, which perhaps we are hanging on to, we are holding and expressing as part of that lineage. And so the plant medicines want to help us to be aware of how beautiful that was, that we took that on to support our family, and yet how beautiful it is that we can just let it go now. And so there's support in doing that. The plant medicine dieta helps tremendously in enhancing our meditation and our ceremonial practices. The medicines, I love to say this, they really truly help us to render all things sacred, to see all things from a lens of sacred. Because when that happens, we are in a frequency of sacredness. And we literally start to change our reality. As we know, everything is magnetic frequency. Whatever is of the same frequency, we are attracted to. And we really are all children of God or children of Source. And everyone's playing these different, you know, co-creations and different, experiencing different things. And when we can all come back to that, remembering how beautiful this world is shifting into that, it amplifies our intentions, realizing that we are the creators based on what we say, what comes out of our mouth, or what's in our thoughts. The I am as the two key words in creating our reality, supporting us in understanding the I am. Who are we when we make this declaration? And then supporting deeper integration of plant medicines. We know that these journeys with these plant medicines, we can go very deep, beautifully deep in these journeys. They help us to really get deep and uncover some of these stories, some of these conditionings, and then help us to just so lovingly see them from a whole other perspective versus the story we've been holding on to, so that we can realize that we can change that story. We can literally change our story and change our reality. And of course, I love to talk about this, having a deep connection to our spirit guides. And I'm going to speak briefly about Cacao. I truly believe that Mama Cacao, we call her Mama Cacao because she's a very feminine energy, such a soft, beautiful energy when we connect with her. Um, she is, in essence, like a gatekeeper for other spirit guides. I like to think of her in that way. At least she has been for me in so many ways, where as she helps us to open up our heart, she will see, oh, look, there's a little bit of forgiveness needed here. So holding on to some sort of something around forgiveness. Let's bring in this other spirit guide who specializes in forgiveness, so that can support her in really opening up. Because these spirits, these spirit guides are all different, just reflections of us, reflections of different aspects of us as well. So it's such a magnificent journey, this plant medicine dieta. There's so much more we can talk about, but really these are the main key points. And until you experience it, I mean, it's just profound and such an honor to be in deep relationship with these spirits when you go through one of these plant medicine dietas. Mm.
Beautiful. Thanks, Judy. So Judy's really talked about kind of what the dieta is, and just I wanted to speak a little bit here to share about, how this ancient practice came to be, and a little bit maybe of understanding of why we see less of this in our Western world than maybe we would in these ancient cultures. And so for me, what I think is really key is that where these dietas came from this shamanic world, the shamanic view of our relationship with nature is really holistic and connected versus, in our Western world, we often are seen as separate from nature. And this is kind of how our Western medicine tends to operate. And whereas, the shamans in these ancient cultures, they see plants as teachers. So they really seeing plants as sentient beings that have spirit, wisdom, intentions, and that they really can guide us on these journeys, this for spiritual, emotional, physical healing and transformation. So that's one of the key things that has kind of gone into how these would have been established. And this idea of our interconnectedness with nature. So the shamanic view is much more symbiotic relationship between humans and the natural world. And the process of the dieta really reinforces our bond with earth, with these medicines, and with the cycles, the natural cycles of life and of the earth. And really, the shamanic approach to healing, where maybe a little bit different from our Western side, really is looking at the body, mind, and spirit to deal with healing. And so the dieta process aims to really get in and address the root causes of spiritual and emotional imbalances and physical that are contributing to whatever is going on for us. And so it's really a deep, deep healing that comes from this holistic view of our connection with nature and how they view the intelligence of the plants. And so, when they're working with people through the dieta process, we're really guiding through the guides would be guiding people through these foundational points. And so really that the dieta is often seen as a rebirth or a really huge, profound shift in one's life or one's perspective. And, it's a time where individuals enter this deep sacred space with deep introspection, encountering these divine spirits, the spirit realm, including the plant spirits, and and definitely as Judy mentioned, kind of a gateway to the spirit realm, and guiding people to have this, to obtain this direct guidance from the plant spirits. So this is where Judy was talking about this deep connection to the plant spirits. But the guidance that could come in many different ways. Sometimes it comes in knowings, intuitive insights, visions, dreams, but the communications are really seen as sacred teachings or revelations that require some interpretation, some integration into our daily life. And, I would say often to people who are newer to this, that we start to know and feel what those teachings are. Whether, instead of it being just like, oh, I wonder if that's actually a teaching. And like, you will know as it hits your body, the way it shows up for you, that is something that is coming from your connection with these plant spirits. So it takes a little bit of practice in that connection and listening, but so powerful. Just a couple other foundational points about dietas and how these rituals would operate is that, it's really for these ancient cultures, the ceremonial and ritual importance is just as important as anything. So opening the dieta just like a ceremony, maintaining it, closing the dieta are really vital for creating a protective and sacred space. And they'll often use songs and other different practices to facilitate this deeper connection with the plant spirit. So we incorporate in ours maybe a little bit more modern approach, but the same type of idea for how we can communicate and connect with these spirits. And of course, super key is approaching the process of the dieta with humility, respect, and really this genuine desire for growth and healing. So that's really where the shamanic viewpoint of respect for all life
Mm,
comes into play.
mm, mm. Beautiful. Yes. So now let's talk a little bit, go a little bit deeper into the dieta. What can it look like? What to expect? And so there are different types of dietas, and you can mix these if you wish or do them separately. There's the isolated dieta, which is where you can have a deep personal transformation through solitude. So you can literally go somewhere into a cottage somewhere for days, weeks, months on end and be in this isolation. Um, Beautiful with minimal distractions. And then there's the social dieta, where again, deep transformation while maintaining the connection to your daily life. And this is really beautiful. This has been a beautiful experience, allowing the plants to help us directly integrate the learnings into our daily life. Um, Both of these are beautiful. Dietas can happen in the jungle, guided in a jungle setting where you're away from sort of the day to day and you're deeply integrating, and they can happen in your urban setting so that you are actually integrating. You're out doing your thing, and these beautiful messages that are coming through are being integrated into your day to day. Both so beautiful. You can mix the two. One of my dietas was over 35 days. Half of it was here in Toronto, and then the other half was in Peru because I was just about ready to co facilitate another retreat out there. And so I finished that last half in the jungle before we started that retreat. So sometimes it's beautiful to integrate both. I can tell you the dietas that I do here in Toronto in my home are absolutely beautiful because the integration is happening right now, live, day to day. The length of the dieta can really vary. There's no right or wrong. It just, you're going to know, you're going to feel. It can range from days to months. There's some shamans who haven't even had years where they're in dedication and commitment to this medicine. It really depends on your goals and your experience with the plants. Some people tend to start a little bit, shorter. Um, and working with the different plants, each plant has a different purpose, right? Each plant will help us in different ways. So, for example, cacao, we've got some common dietas, the ayahuasca, the tobacco, the cacao, there's even a rose dieta. But if we talk about, specifically cacao and mushrooms, these are the two medicines. Before Katie and I decided to come together, we were called to come together by the medicines to bring these medicines together. I was really focusing entirely on the cacao master plant medicine, and being of an honor of holding this space, being a bridge for others to experience a dieta for the cacao. And Katie very much focused on the cacao as well, but mostly on the psilocybin mushroom journeys. And so when we came together, it was because these medicines are really wanting us to support others, to facilitate for others to experience the absolute magic, the synchronistic magic that happens when we bring these two master plant medicines together. On their own, they are magical medicines. And we know there are some things that when we mix alchemically, create a whole other beautiful set of magic. And that's exactly what we have here when we mix the cacao and the mushrooms. The cacao and the mushrooms creates this magical synergy because the cacao itself is so heart opening. We know so many of us have our hearts, shut so tight because we've been hurt, or we have these perceptions of what has happened to us. And so these stories that we create, which tighten our heart even more to love. And then there's the healing, the consciousness, the expanding awareness that happens with the mushrooms. So imagine your heart is open with the cacao, you're more open to understand, to see another perspective, and to feel into that. And then the mushrooms helping us to expand into these other perspectives. So, really, a deep sense of connection, balance, and inner transformation. So much magic. And we really are so excited and so grateful, Katie, once again to be in this beautiful communion with you in supporting others to experience this together. And so let's talk about the preparation for the dieta. What can this look like? So before you even start the dieta, there's kind of this preparation period. The first thing, just like anything in life, what we realize is so essential is this deep devotional commitment. It's this, yeah, this feels so good. I want and I am ready to commit to a dieta. Because as we know, when we make a decisions, mountains move around us. The decision is made. It's a different frequency and energy that we're in. And then there's setting the intentions because we are about to be in deep communion with this plant spirit, this cosmic spirit that knows all, sees all, is in all remembering. So we can ask for anything. What is our intention? So we can ask for the support, the clarity, the expansion, the understanding, maybe clarity and purpose, whatever it is, the intentions. What are going to be our intentions now that we're ready? We've made this commitment. Then we prepare for this physical, mental, and spiritual preparation because the dieta is going to support us through this mind, body, and spirit journey, this whole purification period. And we start to prepare our diet and our behavioral guidelines for the dieta. I'm going to talk about that now in the next slide, which is the actual process. That was before we even get started. Now what happens as we get ready? The dieta process is all about creating some stillness within you. Now, the dieta that Katie and I offer is a dieta where we are encouraging you to be in your day to day. So you don't need to take time off work. It's actually beautiful to be in your day to day because you're going to be in this profound daily deepening journey and then going to work and having these, potential same triggers or whatever's going on in your day to day show up. But because you're in this expanded state, how much quicker we can shift. So beautiful. There are periods of that time and space where we are committing together on this dieta journey that Katie and I will take you on, where there's a few days in there where there's some isolation. So even so, before, after, whatever you normally do during the day, maybe you work, maybe you have your children, commitments. There's sort of a period of isolation. So we guide you through this beautiful silent journey in your home before and after that period. There's a consumption of the medicine. Obviously, we are in dieta. We are taking the beautiful medicine, and we guide you through that. There's daily connection, daily meditation, daily contemplation, because your intention is always, every day, we're thinking and we're coming back to your intention. So, contemplation and interaction with the plants. This is what has been so deeply moving for me, was understanding that we're not just drinking, we are connecting to these benevolent spirits. And how you connect is you talk to them. And so most people don't know how to do that. And that's part of this journey that we will take you through. The role of the guide in the dieta is exactly that, supporting you and connecting with the spirit. And as you will see with us, we've been guided to teach, to together, to come together, to speak to the spirits together, so that we can show you how to have this conversation, deepening evolutionary conversation, vulnerable conversation with these beautiful spirits. And the dieta process has the opening of the dieta and the closing, as Katie talked about. That is a universal law that everything we open, we close. Everything that we open, just like with the dieta, we're calling in these beautiful spirits and medicines. We're also closing. We are in reverence, respecting the time of these beautiful, beautiful spirits. And so there's a closing as well, a formal closing. There is the integration, or integrating the insights into your daily life, because things are going to come. It's going to be like, wow, look at this shift, all these shifts coming through. So integrating these into your daily life. This is why we talked about having like a little silent retreat space. And what we mean with this is we guide you through for the first few days where you're going to commit to being in your home in a bit of a retreat space, a bit of a silent retreat space where you're going to have less conversations with people you live with. The day to day, the normal, get things through the day, the normal conversations, but not the typical, hey, this happened to me today. Can I talk to you about it? None of that stuff, because we're going to go into stillness. We're preparing the stillness to connect, to receive the messages from the spirit. And we're also, in that same time, going to become aware of how we normally share our stories with other people, specifically the people we live with, or maybe even our best friends who we call to tell stories. Hey, this happened at work. Can you believe how terrible this was that happened? How sometimes people validate our stories when really the plant spirits, we're going to connect to the spirits to tell the plant spirits our stories, to get into deep, vulnerable connection, because they're going to help us to see different perspectives. How to incorporate lessons learned from the dieta into this everyday living. Every day we come together so we can understand, wow, this shift happened. And this shift happened in this conversation that happened. And so realizing the integration of that, you are now a completely different person from who you were at the beginning of that conversation because of this shift. So beautiful. Commitment to daily integration of lessons. It is profound, the journey that you take on a dieta, even if it's 16-day journey, which is what we offer, which may seem short. So much deepening in each of those days and so many lessons to be integrated. And then the long-term benefits of maintaining a connection with plant spirits. One of the most beautiful gifts that this beloved shaman, Leticia Shononsoy, beautiful woman who I worked with for many years and continue to work with her, taught me was the understanding that the dieta doesn't finish your relationship with the spirits, how to continue, but now you've experienced the deepening of that relationship.
Beautiful. We've talked about quite a few of the benefits of the dieta, but I will just highlight a few. Won't spend too much time on the ones we've already talked about, but things that we see personally and that most of the people who go through this process will see definitely significant shifts in perspective and personal growth, those new insights that we're gaining, releasing of the stories that we've talked about, lots of emotional healing, including the release of our old traumas, things that we've been holding on to. And both mushrooms and cacao, but especially the mushrooms, really get into ourselves and help us to release those old traumas that we're holding on to. So powerful. General physical detoxification and restoration is so powerful. That can come partially from the change in diet that we are undergoing as a part of the process. So we're changing some of the foods that we consume, and that is because all of these foods have consciousness, and we want to call in only certain consciousnesses as we go through this process. So it allows this time for physical detoxification. And each plant medicine, especially our master plant medicines, have what we would call a purge. And so you will experience, although we're taking smaller doses of these so that, this is something you can continue your daily life through, you're still going to have quite a purge. And so that will come likely emotionally, but also in some respects physically. So a lot of that can contribute to the physical detoxification. And as we heal our emotional wounds, our old traumas, we also see that affect our physical body as well. So definitely, we talked about the enhanced connection with nature. We're deeply connecting with these plant spirits, these gifts from Mother Earth, and slowing down a bit to these more natural rhythms of Mother Earth, especially through this period of stillness. We talked about the development of your intuition. This is something that is huge, and this, for some of us is more natural. For some of us, it's pretty new. And so using the plant spirits to help us to develop that, it's a powerful, powerful part of this process. Through the dieta, not always, but through our dieta, we will do this in community. And always you would have the support of us or a guide of some sort, and definitely, of course, of the plant spirits. So community and support. You're going to develop this direct line of communication with the plant spirit guides and the spirit realm in general. So that's a really powerful thing that, as Judy mentioned, we continue our relationship with these plants after dieta. And it can be a really powerful, foundational, and really important for the ongoing relationship for people who are facilitating or interested in facilitating with these types of plant medicines. This is absolutely the place to start. It will help to deepen in that relationship. I'll share a few of the experiences that people have had through the dieta process with us, but I love this first one. Says that I've noticed my eyes that they are more radiant, and I catch myself looking in the mirror, having been caught by my eyes. I can see how they've changed and how Mama Cacao is helping me to see and embody the sacred within me. I look and see love now, and I look into my eyes, and I know I'm radiating this as others see me. I just love that. There's such a beautiful, almost like a poet to me, but you can
Mm.
feel the depth of her experience. And she did just the cacao portion of the dieta, but so powerful.
The cacao really bringing her to the presence of her own eyes, really igniting that self love within her. This one is beautiful too. It's Jennifer who said, at first in the dieta, I felt like I wasn't receiving anything from Mama Cacao, no direct messages. I felt so abandoned. And I remember her, she was so angry. Um, Judy helped me by asking who I feel has abandoned me in my life. So just that conversation that we had as a group, and in that instant, she had an enormous shift. She realized that this is coming from the wound with her mother. And in that moment, I felt Mama Cacao embrace me, help me to feel into forgiveness and love for myself and for my mother. This was a profound shift that happened with beautiful Jennifer.
I love that. Carrie just shared that she looked forward to our 20-minute call together every day. That's something that's unique to the dieta that we offer, but the guidance in opening up more and more is palpable. I now have such a deep, growing, and intentional relationship with the plant spirit and feel her guiding me and protecting me. I had no idea what to expect, and I'm so overjoyed with the devotion that I have been deepening into during these 16 days.
Mm,
Just so
beautiful.
beautiful. And it is true. I think a lot of people that come into this feel the call, but don't necessarily know exactly why they're feeling the call. And so the surprise of what they come out of it with is
Mm.
beautiful.
Yeah. And finally, Helen, beautiful Helen, shared, these ladies are exceptionally gifted. The entire offering was moving and unbelievable. I was and continue to process the higher consciousness teachings that they share. So beautiful. Mhm. And so I wonder if you're intrigued, if you have that calling stirring within your heart right now, even more. And so we want to share with you how you can start the journey, how you can start the dieta with us. As we mentioned, as Katie mentioned at the beginning, we have a beautiful Master Plant Medicine Dieta journey that we have now come together to offer for the cacao plant medicine, or for the mushroom spirits, or for both. So it's possible that maybe you're being called by one of these spirits, or it's possible that you're being called by both. This beautiful journey, we are creating a space for these two medicines to come together. But of course, you can join us if there's one that you wish to connect with. It's a 16-day ancient immersive healing program, as we talked about. And so, how does it work? How does our dieta work? Again, this has been divinely guided by these plant spirits to us to support in a bit of a unique way. Um, the way that we've been connecting with the plant medicine dieta has been in deep devotion and understanding that when we have a deep relationship with the spirit ourselves, not just drinking but speaking, that we can literally expand to a whole new level of awareness. And so how does it work? It's 16 days. There is an opportunity to extend if you wish, but 16 days is our main dieta. There are the opening and closing ceremonies. We have the dates that we are listed if this is of interest to you. So an opening ceremony, a closing ceremony, we all do together online. There are 8 days where we are actually taking the medicines because we are preparing before and we're integrating after. So we guide you through this journey. You can choose one or both of the medicines. We have these incredible 20-minute daily Zoom calls where we all come together and we connect with these plant spirits together so that we can all learn how to deepen into direct conversation with them so that before and after those calls throughout the day in the rest of your journey, you're also being encouraged to continue these conversations with the plant spirit. We're staying connected within the group. We have a beautiful WhatsApp group where there's so much conversation and connection that happens there. There's an opportunity to extend your dieta to 30 days, as we talked about. And then there's the post dieta integration as well.
Amazing. Thank you, Judy. And our next one starts October 23rd. We offer these roughly quarterly. Um, and the cost is what's such a beautiful number, 888 in US dollars, or for those in Canada, it's 1,111. Again, another beautiful number. We do offer the payment plans, and then the medicine costs we handle separately because some people want to do just one medicine, some people want to do both. Some, so you can choose that way, and the price is set with that in mind. So we will stop recording here and open it up to questions. And I will also put the link in to the chat for anyone who is curious to learn more. There's a lot more information about our specific dieta on the webpage. So that is something that you can take a look at as well. So I'll put the link there in the chat.
Yeah, we'd love to open up now if anyone has any questions or comments or anything that's come up for you throughout this call. It would be such an honor for us to share that together.
I'm going to stop recording here, Judy. Okay.
Oh, yes.